Namaste, beautiful beings. This is Belinda Pearl, and welcome to this weekly cosmic insight here for Woven We Are. So, let me give you a little lay of the land energetically so we can see where the guidance can help guide us through. Yesterday, we had full moon in Aries, this idea of taking action for yourself. Also, many people have been talking about Aries as this fighter and this fight that we have on our hands, and if we hold that energy in our mind and in our field, that's the energy that we will be confronted with. And it does have a little bit of a confrontational, explosive type of energy, but it's if we could take a different perspective and see how we could lead another way through, if that makes sense. Also, this week Saturn moved from retrograde back on his direct path. And so on Tuesday may have felt like you hit a brick wall, and this is a slow energy of Saturn. And also when a planet is retrograding, the energy is far more intense, bringing up how you feel about your structures, how you feel about your life, where it is and what it is that you are going for. So as we move into this new era of energy, it's welcoming to you what it is that you wish to experience in the world. How are you moving through? Full moons are all about releasing old energy and taking an action through. Also, they reminded me, and this is guidance, it's about this element of fire too. Fire can be destructive, but if we take another perspective and we look at it, fire is also transformative. It's transmuting of energies too. When fire is out of hand, it's that rage. So how do we find that area or space within inside of us to release the rage in a way that it helps us to portray or share more wisdom in the world? Hopefully that makes some sense, because that's kind of the guidance that wants to come through. So I'm going to pull an oracle or two and see what guidance has for you and has for me. And if you hear any sounds in the background, we all live in the world everywhere, and so we're always doing our best. So the sounds that we hear in the world around us help us to actually settle us and ground us, instead of irking us, which we don't want to do anymore. We want to find this place of seeing the blissful path that has been laid out for us. So instead of taking this idea that we have been wounded on our path, but it's rather how are we being shown how to grow into a higher potential. Take a deep breath in. Breathe all that out. Let all your mind go. Just step into the flow. And here we go. I like all these going. And it says forgiveness. And this card has come up before about forgiveness here too. It's very much this heart chakra type of energy here too. Coming into a place of a heart center. It's also about allowing the emotions inside of us to flow. A good practice would be to sit outside, especially at sunset, and you can see water at the water. You can see how the sun plays on the water, creates these like little crystal jewels. Things that are coming up in our life that we need to let go of, we need to forgive, we need to give back, if you will. Like if it's not your karma, give it back. Say, this is not my karma, but it's about letting things go. There's also been this idea about the separation. We know we're in this world where we are separated from each other, potentially still. But there's this piece of realizing that we're not separate. And we clearing the airwaves, especially the mind waves. How we're thinking about each other is so essential. The thoughts that we're thinking can create even more of a separation. So if you're holding on to thoughts that feel heavier than they should be, it's time to step into this place of forgiveness. This is our greatest healer, is forgiveness too. I take another card. I've been working with this animal spirit deck. It's a brand new deck. I've had it for a couple of weeks. Somebody gifted it to me, so thank you. And I've been finding it's really interesting. This morning I did breath work and I saw eagle come in, and then at the end of the breath work I saw eagle again, and earlier on I was doing a meeting and I pulled from this deck and it was eagle again in the deck. So, and it was this reminder of being supported. So I'm loving this deck because it's really showing me a different side of spirit to how divinity can really work through. So, and there's also a lot of cosmic joke humoring going on too. This idea about there's two sides of a coin. It's how we choose to live your life. How do you choose to live? What's your perceptions that you hold two sides to a coin. Was this one piece of guidance, or it's about walking with a piece of gum under your shoe? It made sense to me when I saw the vision, and I thought it was pretty funny, the cosmic joke. So let us see where this cosmic joke is taking us today, this journey that we're on here together. So take a deep breath in, let it all go. Oh, I like this. Butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. There's this thing of rising above, and from us rising, it's like we give permission to all things rise. And this 11 on the card too. So there is this doorway that we're going through, and it feels like we're in a doorway. Like the doorway is opening up, and it has been. There's those two beings here standing side by side here. So it's this doorway too. And yesterday on the full moon, I pulled a card, and it was also selenite. It was from the same deck here, and it was two columns too. It was like this higher self that we're reaching into, and this pathway of our ascension. This is really, if you take it from a deeper level, we're on this pathway of ascension. But in order to move through all the gunk, it's this caterpillar story that eats everything down, gets really fat, and then goes into the pupa and dissolves. And then when it comes out of the pupa, if you've ever watched it, it takes time. It takes a couple of hours for the butterfly to dry its wings, and eventually it flitters off. And this process is so powerful, but there's this journey that we have to go through. And sometimes, we're trying to rush through things. This may feel a little bit of that Aries energy too, that full moon Aries, that we need a rush. Don't rush into doing things. Rush into being who you are. So maybe this is this transformational process we're going through. Forgiveness in the heart is the most powerful tool that you can hold for you. This is how we heal those deep core wounds, which is Chiron in Aries too as well. And there was a conjunction with the moon and Chiron as well. So there was this piece of what's those deep wounds that you're going through, so that you can really step into this place of your higher beingness. This transformational piece, there's a crown there, so it's actually being crowned, an initiation. And it's almost like more ideas, more possibilities were spawned from there. It's released, it's opening up. There's something more to be released. And I keep hearing too is that everything's not going to be what you expect it to be. So imagine your plans as like a butterfly. It lands on the flower. You see it for what it is, and then the butterfly's final legs and wings take it off, and it's kind of darting about because the wind is carrying it, even though maybe it has a trajectory of where it's going. And then it just kind of flitters off, dances on the wind. This should be your plan. See it for what they are, enjoy them, see them in their greatest vision of what they are, and let them go. Maybe there's also this forgiveness of forgiving ourselves. We may have had a plan for life to do it this way, but maybe it's not meant to be that way. It's the transforming path, and transformation is beautiful. So that is maybe a mantra we can share together. Transformation is beautiful. So hopefully all of that made sense. It made sense to me. So from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. And again, this is Belinda Pearl, and you can always find me at belindapearl.com, or Fridays here on Woven We Are. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Namaste.